Hello viewers, hope you're doing well. Today in this video, I'm going to call get task by user ID API in the Angular application. So let's get started. Let's navigate to the VS Code and I'm going to add the different modules in the employee module.ts file that we have HTTP client, forms module, reactive form modules and the demo Angular material module file. So let me open here the employee module.ts. Let me add here the first import, that is the HTTP client module. Second, we have reactive forms module. Third, we have forms module. And the last we have demo Angular material module. After this, let's go to employee service. Inside the constructor, I'm going to inject here the HTTP client. So it will be a private HTTP, that is the instance of the HTTP client. After this, I'm going to create a method where we will write the functionality to call the endpoint from the Spring Boot application. So let's go to admin service. Let me copy the base URL. Let me paste inside the employee service. After this, let me copy the create authorization header method. Let me paste inside the employee service. Import the HTTP header and the storage service. After this, I'm going to copy the method from the admin service, that is a get all tasks. Let me paste inside the employee service, and here I'm going to update the method name, that is a get employee tasks by ID. Import the observable, and I'm going to update the URL of the endpoint, that is a /API/employee/task. Now let's go to the dashboard component of the employee, and here I'm going to add the constructor where we will inject the employee service. So it will be a private service, that is the instance of the employee service. After this, I'm going to create a method, that is a get tasks. In this, I'm going to call the method from the employee service, that is a get employee tasks by ID. Let's subscribe this, and I'm going to save the response into this variable, that is a res. On the top, I'm going to initialize a variable with an empty array, that is a list of tasks. It will be a type of any, and let me initialize with an empty array. Inside this method, I'm going to assign the response of the API to this variable, that is a list of tasks. And let me add here the console.log to print the result into the console. So it will be a console.log. In the argument, we have to pass it the variable, that is a res. And I'm gonna invoke this method inside the constructor. So it will be a this dot get tasks. Now let's navigate to the Spring Boot application. As you can see, the employee controller on the top of this class, I'm going to add the notation, that is @ cross origin, where I'm going to add the static. Let's rerun the Spring Boot application. As you can see, the Spring Boot application started successfully. Let's navigate to the browser. Let me open here the inspect, and I'm going to refresh the dashboard page. As you can see, we got the response of the API with the tasks. Let's show these tasks in the dashboard page. Let me open here the dashboard component.html. As you can see, the main div with the class task list. Inside this, we have a mat card tag with the class task card. On this tag, I'm going to add here the for loop, that is the ng for. From this loop, we will get the task details one by one. So let me copy the variable name, that is a list of tasks. Let me paste inside this, and I'm going to create a new variable, that is a task. That is a from list of tasks. Inside the mat card, we have a div with the class task details. Inside this div, I'm going to add here the h2 tag where we will show the task title. As you can see, the interpolation where we are showing the task title. After this, I'm going to add here the p tag to show the task description. As you can see, the p tag where we have an interpolation, that is a task dot description. After this, I'm going to add the tag for the mat divider. As you can see, the tag for the mat divider. After this, we have a div with the class task info. Inside this div, we will show the additional details of the task, like task status, task priority, employee name, and the due date. As you can see, the div with the class info row, that for the due date. This is the date pipe, like we just have to show month, day, and the year. After the due date, I'm going to print the employee name. As you can see, the div with the class info row, where we are showing the employee name from the task. After the employee name, I'm going to show here the task priority. As you can see, the div with the class info row, where we are showing the task priority. At the last, I'm going to show here the task status. As you can see, the div with the class info row where we are showing the task status. As you can see, the styling properties. Now you can take a look of the dashboard component.scss, dashboard component.html. This is dashboard component.ts. Now let's navigate to the browser and let's test the implementation. As you can see, the task cards for the employee dashboard page. Let me log out and I'm going to log in another employee. So this is the email of the employee and I'm going to edit the password. As you can see, the task for the second employee. So that's all for now from my side. If you have any confusion, you can do comment. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.